Welcome to Take Over, the show that discusses all matters technology. My name is Brian Jojoteno. I'm your host for this one. We have a lot lined up for you this week, particularly on issues to do with technology and this company that's setting up in East Africa. It has a lot that is done in the American market and now showing interest in the African market, particularly in Kenya and the larger global south. Today, Alvin Alexander II is here with me. He'll be telling us what he is all about. Good to see you, sir. Glad to have you in studio today.
Thank you, Brian. I'm glad to be here.
All right, kindly introduce yourself and tell us what you do first.
Hi, I'm Alvin Alexander, founder and CEO of Orion Applied Science and Technology. We are an American aerospace company, and I'm here in Kenya exploring the opportunities to help provide solutions to the Kenyan people with respect to key critical issues such as food security, water resource management, in alignment with the President's goals for affordable housing, as well as the key critical issues with respect to sustainability and infrastructure investment.
Amazing. Before we get to why that is important today, please tell us a bit of your company and what you have done, for how long you've been around, and the impact you've been able to have in the society.
Great. So I founded Orion in 2013 while I was in graduate school at Johns Hopkins University in the United States, majoring in systems engineering. I identified a satellite system ideally suited for orbital debris, otherwise known as space junk, to identify those bits and pieces that could harm satellites that are operational. But as it turns out, the same technology that allows us to identify space junk when looking down upon the Earth is very applicable to addressing food security issues, urban planning, and other matters of import to the Kenyan people.
Amazing. Why are all these issues important, especially today when we are faced with things like hunger, we are faced with challenges in disaster management? Why then is it important for Orion to come and cite this opportunity and actually provide those solutions to the Kenyan people?
Wonderful question, Brian. So understanding, as a systems engineer, we're all about identifying complex problems and providing solutions to those problems, especially when there are no technological solutions made previously. And as part of my mission, my goal in life is we want to, of course, make the world a better place through technology. We do see ourselves as an environmental-based company, and Earth's orbits as a natural extension of the natural environment even. But again, we want to help people and do good in the world, and we can leverage our technologies, our capabilities, our network, our infrastructure, bring that to Kenya, and bring Kenyan, harness the natural talent that is here, and allow that talent to provide those solutions for the betterment of the Kenyan people and the nation as a whole.
I would say you're coming in at a very right time because the whole world is catching up with matters to do with aerospace exploration and, of course, how that can be used on a day-to-day basis. To make the Kenyan person care for this, it would be important to mention that your services, the satellite technology services, could actually assist with things like tracking of calamities that are coming and so much more.
Correct.
Talk to us the extent of the impact you want to have, particularly in the Kenyan market, with regard to your exploration.
Right, specifically with regards to agriculture, our satellites will be equipped with the correct sensors necessary in order to assess the health and status of cropland, to determine if they're being impacted by disease or pests such as locusts, to be able to track those swarms as they're migrating across the continent even, and to provide alerts to farmers on the ground in advance. We want to be able to leverage the technology to assess which parts of a farm is not receiving proper irrigation or maybe being overwatered in certain areas. Again, so that the common farmer can be able to better assess where to apply their limited resources.
Amazing. You mentioned earlier on in our conversation, while we were just having prep for this conversation, that you're not just looking to impact the natural resources, but you're also looking to leverage on the rich Kenyan talent in technology, engineering, and of course applied sciences. you want to partner with universities to train more young talent to be able to harness this, to get more solutions out for the people there. Talk to us about that. What's your plan around the Kenyan talent currently?
Thank you. Kenya is rich in bright minds and educated population.
Sure.
We have no reason to import talent from the U.S. or anywhere else. We want to be able to harness the young people, the youth, and create the opportunities for them to find good jobs in fields such as data science, geospatial analysis, that will have direct applications to the various sectors within the Kenyan society and industrial base that we and our technology can bring to the market. So yes, finding ways to grow our talent here locally, partner with the universities for internships and scholarships, etc., and then provide job opportunities upon graduation in order to begin having impacts domestically right here in Kenya.
Amazing. And in such, the government is pretty much open to privatization and, of course, public-private partnerships, which, of course, the government says it wants to frontier to be able to be in places that the government cannot be all the time. In Africa, we have this quote where we say the government is not very good at doing business.
That's right.
And that's why it needs professionals like you, like-minded people who are solution-driven to be able to bring this kind of impact in the society. Talk to us about the ease of doing business in Kenya and the opportunity that you see the government can provide for FDI.
So, Brian, as you previously stated, the government is very open to these developments and they desire a relationship with industry,
Sure.
which is why I'm here, because we too sense that Kenya has the potential to become a lightning rod for technological innovation across Africa. This certainly could be a technological hub with the right amount of support and partnership from industry.
Okay.
And that's what we represent, in that we sense this opportunity. We're open to partnering with government. And we're also, as I may have stated, we also sense that the United Nations, their Sustainable Development Goals for 2030,
Sure.
in being able to provide resiliency and infrastructure. There's a lot of areas of confluence that is making Kenya a very unique and ideal environment in which to do business.
Amazing. As we now edge towards the close of this conversation, you mentioned earlier on that you are pretty much aligned with the President's agenda of affordable housing, agriculture, and of course manufacturing. Talk to us about that.
Right. So as part of our vision, we could, yes, we're an aerospace company, but we have many other capabilities, and our network is vast, which means, yes, we could have a huge hand in urban planning, construction for affordable housing, working to make Kenya a more sustainable place to live, that the common person can take advantage of. And our goal is to be a partner in this arrangement, where, again, we're looking to bring benefits to the Kenyan people. Obviously, this does require some support from government,
Sure.
and I very much appreciate where the administration's position is, and I do feel that we and our goals are in alignment with theirs.
Amazing. What are some of the things that you are seeing the government doing to make it easy for foreign direct investments, particularly from your own experience?
I suspect that the future would entail agreements, memorandums of understanding that opens the door to these technological business dealings and discussions, right?
Sure.
There must be a legal framework for us to operate fully. That's not just on the Kenyan side, that's with the U.S. side as well. But I can honestly tell you that having observed the African Leaders Summit this past December and the remarks of the U.S. President Joe Biden and his commitment to Africa seems quite genuine. And that's, again, one reason why we're here, because, again, we sense there's lots of opportunity, and with an open heart and sincere intentions, we understand that prosperity will follow.
We also talked about renewable energy. Is Orion planning to, work around that area too? We are seeing a lot of concentration around EVs, electric vehicles, electromobility is catching up real fast in Africa right now. Are we going to see Orion also provide perhaps solutions towards that area?
I would say we're open to a number of possibilities.
Okay.
But I would think solar is certainly an area of particular regard that we're most interested in.
Okay.
And that is an option. But but again, the first things first, we want to make sure that the people have the food security issues resolved as quickly as possible.
Amazing. All right. So, what's your favorite pastime?
Oh my! When I'm not traveling the world and trying to promote business, I do have I enjoy fishing back home.
Oh really?
I grew up in Louisiana, New Orleans. It's known for its bayous and it's rich in fisheries and seafood.
Amazing. Books or movies?
Anything Star Trek, Star Wars, or Matrix.
Okay. I see where you're going with that. Your favorite your favorite African country?
Wow, is it possible to have a favorite? It's like asking me to identify which is my favorite set of diamonds.
All right.
They're all quite beautiful and unique.
Okay.
I can tell you that my experiences here, this is my third visit to Kenya, and it's been absolutely amazing. The safaris I've been on, the visits to the national park, and most importantly, the people have been so warm, open, and friendly.
Okay.
I wish I could just bottle that up and take it back home with me.
I see. By the way, there's a question I forgot to ask you. If all goes well, we are looking at, just for perspective purposes, what would be the magnitude of investment that will be put into this in terms of quantifying it through monetary basis?
Well, obviously, there's no way to answer that question directly right this moment.
Okay.
But I can tell you that our investor base is eager and excited.
Okay.
Given that there's so much potential here. So as we move forward with exploring these options and opportunities, we'll have a robust investor base to come in and provide support.
Amazing. And I think on that note, we want to just end it there. Thank you so much for finding time for us. Really appreciate. I've been speaking to Mr. Alvin Alexander, who is the CEO and founder, or rather the president of Orion AST, and he's been talking to us about the plans that he has for Africa and for Kenya.